Today, we see the Utah Tech Gremlins take on the FCS Midwest Rebels. We have a 1 overall advantage on this team. Although their offense is better than our defense, our both offenses are better than both defenses is really what I'm trying to say. But could this be the first win in Utah Tech Gremlin history? I certainly hope that it is. We have the home crowd with us for this game. Let's hop in and see if we can pick up a victory against an FCS school. One thing about these home games, as you can see right when I get into the game, it goes instantly into the kickoff, and I'm not allowed, there's no entry scene whatsoever. I get that there's not going to be anything custom for a Team Builder team, but can we not get like a generic walkout scene where both teams are coming through the tunnel? I mean, we get no hype leading into the game. It's just straight to kickoff. That'd be one thing I'd like to see for Team Builder teams. I know they had general walkouts last year because they couldn't get a custom one for every single school. Love to get that for our Utah Tech Gremlins. That's a good start to the game here. 27 yards on a short completion to Yannick Smith that he turned upfield. Getting into FCS Midwest territory. The give, Anthony Beer. This is the most space he's seen all season. Spinning off tackler. He's still going into the end zone. Touchdown. Utah Tech Gremlins. The first in school history. Was an awesome play by Anthony DeBeer last week against BYU. He had no space, consistently getting eaten up in the backfield, and when you give this guy space to roam, he will make awesome things happen. The true freshman running back puts the Gremlins on the board. Defensively now, we get a sack from DeAndre Lynch to bring up 3rd and 13. And they're going to go way conservative here on the ground, losing another yard with Blaine Merrick. 3 and out forced by the defense. An ideal start for Utah Tech, searching for the first win of their season and their school's history. On the run, finding Yannick Smith once more, is Mo Asamoah. He's trying to evade to his left and gets brought down for a loss of 6. 3rd and 5, man in motion. It's a give to DeBeer, juking players in the backfield and looking so much better than he did a week ago, excuse me. Malachi Coleman juking out a defender down inside the 5-yard line. One of our best linemen was hurt on the play. After running 5 straight run plays, do we see a pass here on 3rd and goal? No, make it 6 consecutive run plays that we've run from the 2 or the 1-yard line. We're still not in. 4th and goal, we're going to go for it. It's going to be another run play and we get stopped. You have got to be kidding me. 7 straight run plays from the 2 or the 1-yard line and we could not get it in. We turn it over on down, 2nd and inches. What a play on the boundary to break that one up, but on 3rd down, FCS Midwest will pick up the first. Give to the back on 1st and 10, rallying to the ball for a loss of 3, but over the middle open for catch and run yardage. FCS Midwest on the move now. Great blitz pickup there and a contested catch made on the left sideline. 1st and 10, the give goes nowhere. The Gremlins in the backfield quick as they are on this 3rd down as well. It's Cash Dillon, the first one to hit the quarterback on that play. And FCS Midwest had a bit of a drive going, but the Gremlins eventually made their stop, led by their defensive line, creating some plays in the backfield. First quarter now coming to a close. Asamoah, all the time in the world, eventually finds a man over the middle. That's his tight end, Swinney. Into the second now. There's a flag on the play. Asamoah goes down, but where is that flag? It looks like it's going to be an offsides in the secondary. That'll make it another attempt here on third down, this time much shorter. Fake the give. Into the flat goes Swinney, catch and run. Past the 45-yard line. And that flag will keep this drive alive. Asamoah, clean pocket. Over the middle. Yannick Smith again, juking out defenders. Inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's been all Yannick Smith here early. Third and goal again. We've stuck with our game plan of running the ball once more. This time it does work out. Marquis Blunt into the end zone, extending the Utah Tech lead 14-zip now. These FCS Midwest fans not so pleased with the start to this game. 2nd and 5. And down goes the quarterback, Bretton Williams, with the pressure. The defensive line for Utah Tech has had an extremely strong start to this game. It's kind of feeling like it felt for us last week in the second half against BYU, where there's just not time to operate on many of these plays. But a nice throw there to get the conversion. Now moving the sticks once more past the 40. FCS Midwest can move the ball on us a decent bit. But the sacks, the fourth of the day, another one for Cash Dillon, have been what's killed these drives for FCS. 2nd and 17. Down goes the quarterback again. Ball is out, but falling on top of it is the offensive lineman who gave up the sack. 3rd and a mile. They're going to give it to the back. And back-to-back losses created by this Utah Tech defensive line. They're feasting. Halfway through the second here. Mo looking over the middle and finding a man that's Minor. Inside the 30 now for 3rd and 6. Trying to get some catch and run yardage for Malachi Coleman. Doesn't work. Loss of 2. But considering we don't have the best kicker in the country, we're going to go for it on 4th and 8. Back to Malachi Coleman. Touchdown. Down the left sideline. He got space off the line of scrimmage. Nobody has the athleticism on FCS Midwest to hang with Malachi Coleman. He burns him for 6. It's been all Yannick Smith early, but Malachi Coleman adding into the fun here. Next drive for FCS Midwest. The read option works like a charm down the right sideline past the 40. They've done a good job moving the ball in between, the 20s. But once they get into range where they might start threatening to get in field goal range or scoring range in general, that's when this Utah Tech Gremlins defense has really started to tighten up and create these plays, halting these FCS drives, keeping them to still 0 on the board. What a throw and catch. Asamoah to Swinney there on the sideline in traffic. A big-time conversion, and Mo Asamoah just looks so much more comfortable. And right as we say that, he throws a pick. Trying to find Swinney in traffic again, but this time FCS was prepared. And they get the turnover, the second of the season for Mo Asamoah. Under a minute left. 3rd and 3. Utah Tech sends a defensive back in on the blitz. He's not the one who got there, but another sack will give Utah Tech another chance to score here. Mo Asamoah, plenty of time, finds Curtis Minor again down to the 20. And that's going to result in 3 more points put up by the home squad prior to halftime. 24-0 at the half. It is clear that while the overalls are similar, these are not two teams that are evenly matched in this game. So much so that for this second half, we'll be really focusing solely on the biggest of plays here, as I think we have this one handled pretty well, and that'll allow us to watch a second game here in this episode. Coming in on the blitz on third down was Blade Merrick. He came in like a heat-seeking missile to end that FCS Midwest drive. Mo Asamua, clean pocket again. He's had those all day. Deep over the middle, finding Malachi Coleman. Another explosive play in the pass game. Smith and Coleman have both been highly productive for Utah Tech receiving-wise today. Swinney has had a few nice plays as well. Anthony DeBeer juking players down to the 1. First and goal, been very run-heavy inside the 5. This time we go to the air, and it works like a charm. Asamua gets his second passing touchdown of the outing. Fourth quarter now. Third down once more, and this third down defensive line play has been elite all game long. Big reason why we are up 31-0, and then the slot blitz brings Ricardo Ramsey in on the fun. We like sending him on these slot blitzes pretty often, and he's done a good job on them, so I can't say I blame us. Over the middle, Curtis Minor once more. Inside the 5, first and goal. The give to Marquis Blunt into the end zone for the second time today. 38-0. Oh, what a difference a week makes, and also a completely different tier of opponent, from getting blown out at home to doing the blowout, blowing out ourselves. A big time victory for the Utah Tech Gremlins. Our first ever in school history. Nice to do it in front of the hometown fans. Asamua in the game, 357 in the air, 87% completion. 2 touchdowns, 1 unfortunate pick. 20 for over 100 for DeBeer. Blunt got 11 carries, a couple of touchdowns along the way. Curtis Minor ends up being our leading receptions guy, but yards, it was Myers Sweeney. Got a couple of really nice plays from Malachi Coleman and Yannick Smith as well, who had great averages, and just a great offensive game altogether. We got Jerome Williams and Anthony DeBeer allowed sack, but defensively it was a day where our defensive line lived in the backfield. A ton of sacks, no interceptions this time around, though. Big Ten Player of the Week is Brenton Williams for his 3 sack, 5 tackles, 7 TFL performance against FCS. You love to see it. And now Georgia Southern, the next opponent on the list for us. The gamble paid off with Alfonso Penny, and we were able to get the sway. We didn't get a ton of progress. I mean, USC got a ton more progress, but we're still in first, and now we can hard sell a much better hard sell. I forgot which one it was, so I'll have to find it here. This one. An A, a B, and a D minus isn't the best hard sell, but it's so much better than the A and the 2 Ds that we had before, where I don't even think that one would be worth it. This one, I think at this point, is an A and a B is worth it for me. So that might be the saving grace for allowing us to keep Alfonso Penny on the board. We did get into the top 5 barely here for Dom Westbrooks. Let's go ahead and see what we can sell him on. One of his check marks we know is a D, so we need the other one to be good. Could be goals, which is terrible. Could also be this, which would be good. So we're the only ones with an offer. So for now, I'm just going to, let's pray it's this. If it's not, and we don't make a ton of progress this week, it won't be the worst thing in the world because we're not competing with anybody. If it's the other one, then that really sucks. So is this guy in his top 5? He is, which means I want to schedule that week 5 complimentary visit for sure against the Huskies. And then we have 2 good check marks here, which you love to see. So our hard sell should be pretty solid. Oh, man, if it's campus personality, we have a really good sell there. I don't know how much longer playing style will be good. I mean, our playing style looks great right now because of that game against FCS where we absolutely dominated them. We'll see if it continues to look good as the year goes along. But we had so many sacks that our playing style should stay good for a couple of weeks. It doesn't. I can't see it going down crazy anytime soon. Ooh, Stoneburner. We do not have a good. So is there one with Conference Prestige, Pro Potential, and something else good? Let's see. So we need Conference Prestige and Pro Potential, but something else. There isn't one. That's tough. We're gonna have to stick with sending the house on Stoneburner, which I don't think is gonna end up working in the long run. So I'm gonna have to add some offensive linemen to our board at some point. So neither of these are the right ones. How is that possible, dude? We just lost a ton of ground on this player because of that. It's this one. This one's terrible. That's not good. That's not good. We might lose out on Earl because of that. We should get our other Earl Durham here. He has a week 5 visit. He might commit before that visit. We should be able to beat out OSU here. Our pitch is really good. I am going to add these 10 hours back in because it looks like that might help out just a bit. Okay, we already have this one set. Westbrook's we have set as well. So we have 60 hours left. We might. Ah, dang it. Could we? Do we try and sway him? We might lose. So I'm gonna go with 1 week of just sending the house to see how it compares to what these other schools are doing. And if it's not enough, then I'll try to sway him. But that might ultimately end up having us lose out on this guy, which would suck. But I'm feeling confident on the other 2 gems that we have on our board that we'll get them both. This receiver is just looking kind of sketchy right now. Oh, so we did a double. So the worst one, unfortunately, is the one that is his ideal pitch. But at least we know it now. Which one is it? It's this one. An A, a B, and a C still isn't bad, though. So we'll go here. See how that compares to North Texas. And we've got 10 hours left. And nowhere really to use them. So I guess we could start scouting somebody else that we could put on our board eventually. Probably got to add to our offensive line still. For our second spotlight game of the episode, we'll be heading on the road, watching the first 3 games of the season. Not something we're going to be doing often, but this season, with our out-of-conference games being really our only chance to probably pick up victories, although how well we played against FCS Midwest does have me hopeful that we'll be playing well above our overall seems to indicate this season. We've got another test against a similarly rated overall wise team, but this time on the road. Will that make a difference in this game? 3rd and 6. Georgia Southern picking up the first down and a lot more. Past midfield, a 24-yard connection to move the sticks. 1st and 10. Into the backfield is Cash Dillon. He has been money for us to start this season. But a 3rd and long forces a throw, and Blaine Merrick breaks it up, and the defense gets a stop. 357 and 2 touchdowns for Asamoah last week. What can he do against Georgia Southern? He's going deep immediately on 3rd and 8. Malachi Coleman catches it in stride. And the Gremlins strike first on the explosive play. We got a lot of those last week, and we are starting this game with another one. Just another case where the athleticism of Malachi Coleman is not being met by other players on the field when you're playing against the FCSs and the Georgia Southerns of the world. That's when the athleticism of guys like DeBeer and Coleman can shine. Georgia Southern trying to respond here. They're going deep themselves, broken up by the senior corner downfield. Pressure comes and down goes the quarterback on 3rd down. Utah Tech gets a stop here. DeMarcus Stevens on the sack. 3rd and 5 for the Gremlins, hoping to avoid a 3 and out. Asamoah. He's got Yannick Smith. Tried to turn upfield, but comes up just a yard short. Great tackle there to not allow him any forward momentum after the catch. I thought it was a pretty well drawn up play. Just a great defensive effort there. As Georgia Southern has it 1st and 10 from the 48. Evading the pocket, but running right into Cash Dillon, the 3rd sack. Early on for Utah Tech. They were wreaking havoc in the backfield last week. They're doing so again here. Another stop. Play action. All day. Deep downfield again. It's wide open. Yannick Smith. No one around him. Touchdown. Gremlins. A busted coverage there left Yannick Smith all by his lonesome. And it's another explosive play through the air. How good has Mo Asamoah looked with protection these last 2 weeks? I don't know how much pass protection we're going to get for the rest of the year, but boy, does he look good when he's got it here in this episode. Deep downfield again, testing our defensive backs on 3rd down, and they're going for the same explosive plays that we've been able to get, but our defense has been much better prepared for them. As you can see, we did miss the extra point on that last touchdown, so we're up just 13-0. Asamoah holding on to the ball too long here on 3rd down. The pressure will eventually get there. I'd say that was more of a coverage sack than anything. Asamoah needs to get rid of that ball, but back to Georgia Southern here, who has it inside their own territory. Carmen in on the blitz. We've had some really well-timed defensive back blitzes. They've worked really well for us at times throughout the season. Defense gets another stop on 3rd down. They've been just really good 3rd down in general, whether it's been in coverage, getting sacks, whatever it is. That's not going to be a good play for the offense there. Trying to roll out to his left following the play action, but the defense was ready for it. So 3rd and 22, he's just chucking it up for Coleman. Not a bad strategy, but Georgia Southern had him double covered, so we give the ball back, or we get a nice play on 1st down to set up 2nd and long, but the RPO works like a charm. 3rd and 3. Time to throw into the flat, and it's broken up by Ricardo Ramsey. Having himself a strong episode from the slot. Georgia Southern trying to get on the board here with a field goal. Nearly blocked, but it's up through the uprights. 13-3. Gremlins from the 18. Asamoah stepping up, thrown into the flat for Anthony DeBeer. Nice play there. The run after the catch. Asamoah finds Malachi Coleman over the middle. Last week it was mostly Yannick Smith eating up these targets. This time Malachi Coleman much more involved on a play-by-play basis. As you saw there briefly, that last pass gets Asamoah over 200 first half passing yards. Just those big explosive plays helping him for sure. Had a man on third down, potentially could have caught and run for the first down, but he saw him too late. So he'll be forced to settle for 3 here. Though our catcher is a former 0 overall, he did enough to develop where he can hit from that range. And he gets the 3 back that we lost last possession. Under 4 minutes remain here in the half. And that's picked off by Cash Dillon, dropping into coverage. The disguise look works like a charm. And Utah Tech will get the ball back. Our defense making plays all over the field, the defensive line. But a 3rd and 10, we're at risk of wasting that sick defensive line turnover. Taking the check down, but no room to run after the catch. So we will go 3 and out, however. In field goal range, 42 yards. It is good. You never know with our kicker, but he's 2 for 2 today. 19-3, hitting the 2-minute warning. Into the flat. Tight ends bouncing off tackles here. Moving the sticks. 2nd and 4, play action. He was heavily stepped up in that pocket. Showing some trust in his offensive line. Moving the chains. This is a crosser. That'll get out of bounds. Georgia Southern on the march. And that's a big play over the middle. They were taking the dink and dunk down the field until the defense gave up the big play. Now Georgia Southern knocking on the door. Touchdown, Eagles. Green Jr. on the reception. And that'll make it a single digit difference. Not single score. Down to under 50 seconds remaining in the half. Anthony DeBeer in the flat. Loses it on the tackle. Please say he was down. That would be a very costly turnover very late in the half to give the Georgia Southern Eagles the ball already in scoring range. I don't know if they're even going to review this. Here's a replay. Caught in the flats, and they're not going to review it at all. It is Georgia Southern ball, 2nd and 7, stepping up and running for a first down. Timeout called by the Eagles. 3rd and 7, down to 14 seconds left. And the pressure gets there. It's Cash Dillon's 3rd sack of the day. But Georgia Southern still has 1 timeout, so they will be able to get this down to a 1-score ball game heading into the half. We were up, 19-3 at the 2-minute warning. And now it's going to be just a 6-point ball game heading into the half. Both teams have had a lot of success through the air, 174 yards when it's all said and done. After a quick 3 and out to start the half for the Utah Tech Gremlins, Georgia Southern gets it instantly in scoring range because of our awful punting. Coming back to bite us once more. They could take the lead on this drive. 3rd and 2 is a conversion. This quarterback is playing quite well. And the give is wide open for a touchdown. Georgia Southern takes the lead. We were dominating this game, and now Georgia Southern takes the lead. It was really just explosive plays, though. On a play-to-play basis, it's been more even than that. Asamoah evading left. We need to play desperately, and he's going to get it himself. Down the sideline, he's still going to the 20-yard line. Mo Asamoah showing off the abilities with his legs. He has been throwing it all around the yard all game long, but he's not a one-dimensional player. His archetype may say pocket passer, but he's got some juice. 59 yards on the scamper. That's very likely going to be his longest run in his college career unless we seriously upgrade his speed. And even then, his 59 yards is no easy feat from the quarterback spot. 2nd and 8. Down goes Asamoah. Can't take another sack here on 3rd and 14 or we'll knock ourselves out of field goal range. 3rd and 14. Holding on to the ball and down he goes again. Exactly what we could not have. And it actually forces us into a go-for-it situation. You're not going to punt from your own 31. And our field goal kicker can't make it. Our terrible kicking coming back to bite us. And then he takes the check down. I mean, from his coolest play so far of the season into a really bad sequence after that. Back-to-back. I mean, at that point, just even if you're going to throw a pick, throw it downfield. Go for it, right? Because at the very worst, you're just giving them worse field position. Nice check down here on this 3rd down, though. Under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Asamoah, all the time in the world, finds a man downfield. It's Yannick Smith again. Another busted coverage found Yannick Smith wide open. Down the field for the 2nd time in this ballgame. We've been reliant upon explosive plays offensively, but when you're able to get them with regularity, it's not such a bad thing. Smith and Coleman are 2 transfer portal receivers, both looking excellent in this episode, as is Mo Asamoah for the most part. 2-point conversion into the flat for DeBeer, just trying to get him some space, but the defense did a nice job closing in there. Don't mind the play call trying to get a man with DeBeer's ability to make people miss in space, though. And that's going to be another pick for Max Tucker. His 2nd of the season, celebrating a big-time interception with a 1-score ball game here nearing the 4th quarter. Can our offense do something with it here? Great starting field position. Mo Asamoah, play action, finding Swinney on a crossing route. Over 300 yards for Mo. 1st and 10. Moving up in the pocket. What a throw on the run to the JUCO recruit, Curtis Minor. His first touchdown catch of the season makes it a 2-score game here with under 2 minutes left in the 3rd. Let's get a replay of that one there. I mean, looks like he was going to take off and run, but keeping his eyes up, able to make a great play. Mo Asamoah in his bag for that one. Georgia Southern now under some pressure here to keep this game close as we head into the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7. Sending pressure are the Gremlins, and Ricardo Ramsey gets there again. He is so good on these blitzes. The 4-star true freshman making plays. Utah Tech with the ball again. 2nd and 7. Deep downfield. Guess who? Yannick Smith. No surprise there. He has been such a dominant downfield threat for us. 3rd and 10. We're going to the quarterback run. Mo nearly gets past the sticks, but that call makes more sense when you know we're going to go for it on 4th down, which is what we're doing here. 4th and 2. The give to DeBeer. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 20. This could be a great put-away drive if we can put it in the end zone for 6. Sending pressure is Georgia Southern on 3rd and 8, though. Looks like we'll have to settle for 3. This will still make it a full 2-touchdown game, plus a 2-point conversion with a made field goal here. And it's off the crossbar. No! I mean, you knew he's going to miss some of these just with his ratings, but that would have helped in putting this game a little bit further out of reach. Instead, Georgia Southern trying to move the ball here, but a great play by Bretton Williams in the backfield. Loss of 5 makes this a much Tougher third down, but it doesn't matter. And we're not going to catch him inside the 10. What a play on third down. That guy, I mean, you see 84 and you maybe think he's not that fast. Most of the fast guys are wearing in the teens or single digits, but we could not catch up with him all the way down the field. First and goal. They're going to let him finish off what he started here. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. And we are back to a one-score ball game with under 6 minutes left. This has been our first close game we've had all season. How does our team finish in these tight scenarios? This will be our chance to find out. Asamoah going deep on 3rd and 7. Malachi Coleman hauls it in. Make it 400 yards for the game for Mo Asamoah. He is just chucking the ball downfield to these playmakers, and it is working. 49 yards on the pass play. The leaping grab made by Malachi Coleman. What a playmaker he's been. Curtis Minor moving the sticks on 2nd and 4. In motion here again. Right back to him. This one is gonna be a first down to the 4. First and goal. Mo taken down in the backfield. 11 sacks in total, 6 by our Gremlins, 5 by Georgia Southern here. 3rd and goal, approaching the 2-minute warning. Mo going up top, and it is caught! Malachi Coleman over the top of his defender. What a play! Oh my goodness. Talks about how his athleticism is going to shine against opponents like the ones we face here today. And none better than that play right there, just mossing the defender to make it a 12-point ball game. Georgia Southern needs to score on this drive. They get a good chunk pickup there. Check down on 1st and 10. That'll get just enough for another first down. In hurry-up mode now, it is winning time for Utah Tech. If we can get a big-time play here on defense. Oh, Carmen was coming downhill in a hurry there. Thought he might have been able to get hands on that ball. 2nd down. In the air once more, and that is great defense by Tucker. Looks like the receiver had his hand on the ball, but he was able to force it out. Screen set up on 3rd and 10, trying to make it an easy 4th down. They will pick up a little bit more than half the yardage, but the game could be decided on this play. 4th down, 4 yards to go, 1:10 left in the game, and it is broken up by Blaine Merrick. He's the highest overall player on the squad, and he comes through in a major way to make the Utah Tech Gremlins off to a 2-1 start in this game. We put 2 winnable games on the schedule here early. Asamoah was awesome in this game. Took a few sacks, but other than that was just remarkable. And so were Yannick Smith and Malachi Coleman. Both our receivers were excellent, and we pick up our first road win now in Gremlins history. Taking a look here at our stats. 33 of 39, 5 touchdowns, no picks. We actually struggled a decent bit getting a ground game going. 10 for 164 and 2 touchdowns for Malachi Coleman. 7 for 172 and 2 touchdowns for Yannick Smith. 2 receivers over 150 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns in this game. Not often you're going to see that, but we see it here today. 3 sacks for Cash Dillon and a pick. Absolutely insane stuff from him in the win. For the second consecutive week, we have a Big Ten Player of the Week. This time it is Blaine Merrick for his very active game. And Malachi Coleman, no surprise here, is your Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week as well. Judging by how close that game was, I think that might be our last win of the season. If Georgia Southern had a chance in the fourth quarter to beat us, every other team, I mean, let's just take Washington, for example, who we'll be facing next episode. They're a lot closer to BYU than they are either the teams that we've beaten so far. And Washington's certainly not going to be the toughest task in the Big Ten now that we enter conference play. But we're going to finish off this episode by getting one more look here at recruiting. We have a Week 5 visit with Durham, so that should be a commit next week. To have a commit after Week 5, after what we had last season, is really great news. We are now down on Earl here after sending the house. I don't know what to do here. We have a Week 6 visit. I think the best thing for us to do is to try to sway him towards something that we're actually going to be good at. This is probably our best. Try to sway him campus personality. We'll soft sell his actual ideal pitch. It's not going to be a very good soft sell. I believe it is that one, right? There's no other one it could be. Yes, it is that one. So this is a pretty poor pitch. We're going to lose even more progress, but hopefully if the sway happens and we have a good visit, there's a chance, I guess, but he also has a weak... Oh, this is going to be close. If he wasn't a gem, I'd already be giving up here, but he is a gem, and so I want him on the squad. So we added PJ Powell to the board to try and get another offensive lineman in. That's 2 left tackles. We'd probably move one of them to the right side, but we're on the board here. We have 45 hours left. We'll probably use those. I mean, if we do this, we'll have 50 hours because I think just 40 will be enough here. We can switch to the hard sell now on Dom Westbrooks. And his is, I believe, this one. Switch to the hard sell there. We can add. We did not get this right. So let's make sure we have the right one. There we have that. Still have 20 hours left. I guess, yeah, we could use it to schedule a visit, actually. So we could try and find something complimentary. So we have a receiver coming in Week 6. A tight end is not complimentary. A tackle isn't going to be either. So there's no way to make this visit complimentary, I don't think. How is a tight end and a receiver not complimentary? That seems crazy to me. Feels like an easy complimentary visit choice. Yeah, there's just no way to make it complimentary. Unless we did something really cheesy, like is there a quarterback like this guy right here? He's in his top 5. He has us. We could theoretically schedule him for a visit. We'd have to offer him a scholarship, which means we'd have to take 5 hours off of somebody. This is kind of cheesy to do this. There's somebody we could probably afford to take 10 hours off of real quick. Maybe for one of Penny or Chubb. Chubb's got some visits coming up that we're going to need to contest as well. Our only open week is going to be week 7, so we're going to have to make that happen next week. I'm just trying to get a complimentary visit going next week. Let's take 10 off of Penny and make it 5 instead. Let's offer you a scholarship. Oh, no, he's a 40-hour visit. Dang it. I was hoping he'd be a 20. I should have checked. We'd have to take 10 off here. This could end up really screwing us over in the end. Let's take 10 off here for just 1 week. This is all to get a complimentary visit. We know he likes brand exposure. I mean, we don't really care about this guy on the visit because we're not actually really offering him for the time being, at least. So all that just to get a complimentary visit. And the reason that's important is because we also have, if you look at our offensive coordinator, the reason I was willing to do all that just to get a complimentary visit is because our offensive coordinator gives boosts to complimentary visits. So that might hopefully make the difference with Earl. We're jumping through a lot of hoops to try to stay in the game on this one. This way has to work this week, though. It has to work this week, or we're done. Even with the complimentary visit, I feel. So that's going to be the final recruiting update. We'll kick it back off next time, where we have weeks 5 and 6 back-to-back pretty big visit weeks going on. So multiple prospects coming in for both of those games as we speak. So that's going to be in the next episode, which will be coming out soon, and I'll see you then. Let's go Gremlins, baby.